My friends, it is week 2, Monday, of rebuilding my strength and health for the end of the year and next year for competition and also jiu-jitsu. Last week I started off with double pause deadlifts. Actually, before that I did rack strict presses with a log with just 190 pounds. Worked up to about 430 pounds on double pause deadlifts, give or take. And then did suitcase carries with the farmers, which were not fun, up to about 220 pounds. So very lightweights all around. It's all just for rehabbing and just making sure everything feels good, and also rebuilding the stability of my back, because ever since Arnold's, or the training up to Arnold's, I messed up my back pretty bad. That sciatica now is in a place where I could start pushing my strength forward again, but I'm gonna start very careful and light, and then see how it feels at the end of the month, and then make some decisions as to which competitions I'm doing. And by the end of the month, I mean August or September. So I want to spend the rest of the summer really contemplating what I'm going to be doing next. Either way, let's have a strong start to the week. Last week was just kind of to figure out where I am, see how everything's feeling. Got to crack open a delicious rain and get this thing started off strong. Yep, let's freaking do it. I got really pretty lights in this gym. As you can see, I really love my nano leaf lights. I should probably get some brighter lights as well for filming's sake. What I'm doing right now is angling my entire rack just a little bit. It makes for better lighting for the video. I want to set up these racks for the log press rack pressing to be just about half an inch below my collarbone. That's about perfect. And the main ingredient, the log. Let me tell you something, this thing never feels light until I warm up. Every single time I pick that thing up without warming up, how am I in this sport, right? But then I start moving a little bit and add the weight and it keeps going. Warm up time. Now, which angle is more flattering? Should I face the camera or should I face away? Well, I'm gonna start facing away because this feels very awkward not facing towards the rack. So that feels really good. So if you guys were watching last week, I worked up to about 190 pounds, which is very light, but I was only doing sets of 5 because right now I'm trying to nurse this slightly torn long head bicep injury, which has been plaguing me for years now. So soon I hope I can get an MRI, get this really checked out and get whatever repair I need. In the meantime, I'm gonna move very slow and try to rebuild that tendon integrity a little bit. Usually it works. Usually I'm able to get to a point where the pain doesn't bother me so much, and then I get some big numbers up. Right now, I'm just lifting 190 pounds with a pause on the chest and a pause on lockout. Eccentric, oddly enough, hurts the bicep the most. So right today I found that if I just let loose, let the rack catch the log, I don't feel pain at all. So I'll be going for that. And then I'll be slowly building up with repetitions, allowing the weight to move as slow as it needs to have it remain painless. With injuries like these to the tendons, it's typically a good idea to move slower for higher repetitions, adding pauses in, and also trying to keep the pain level at a level 2 out of 10 or lower. Anything above that and you're just damaging the injury more, and you're gonna have negative returns. Let's add some weight. I'm setting 5 kilos on each side, massive 5 kilos. Oh, I can't believe I'm lifting this. Oh, it's getting real, folks. So here's the thing, I love riding electric bikes. I like to keep it inside the gym because I don't want someone to run off with it. But when I'm trying to vlog and change weights and do setups, and I I get carried away and sometimes lose track of where my big booty is. So after all, that's what tends to bump things, my big booty. I've done a lot of squats in my life. All right, let's do these presses. Feels nice and smooth. So another beautiful thing, or something I'm a huge proponent of, is keeping track of your workouts. Ever since I was 10 years old, when I started lifting, my dad had me writing down every single weight, every single number of repetitions I did, and had me note how it felt. Every single week, I know exactly what I should be doing to slightly push myself forward. Every single week, I try to improve either reps, weight, time held, quality. All those notes are there that go back 20 years. I'm kind of in a rebuilding phase. So after 3 months of traveling the world doing strength and known, I'm just trying to do tiny incremental steps, making sure I feel good and making sure that every single week is slightly better than last week. It's as simple as that. Welcome, guys. I hope you don't mind being on YouTube. Let me know. We got some beautiful personal training clients coming in. Always adding good energy in here. That's one thing I love about my gym. We just have great people come. Oh yeah, of course, I gotta pay attention to the weights. You guys don't want to hear about all that other stuff. This is what you guys came here for. Watching massive weights being slapped on to a log. Wait for it. Yeah, that's what every single weightlifting YouTube vlog needs. I have no idea why. That's like necessary B-roll. Right now we're up to roughly 190 pounds. Last week I did 555. Today, 6 reps with that same control, but allowing it to rest for a second on the rails to take pressure off that bicep. Should be good. Not too bad. 2 more sets to go. I'm not gonna push it to anything crazy. I could do plenty more reps, probably upwards of 20, but that's not what this is about right now. Just gotta get that tendon feeling good. And every week, as long as it's feeling better and I'm doing more reps, I'm winning. Set 2.
As best as you can, you wanna try to have your points of contact be your ankle, knee, and then hip. Hold there. And then we're gonna pop into a push-up position. Knees up, or sorry, knees down, feet up. And we're just gonna tap our shoulders 20 times.
Nice. 1 more set. Final set.
Stop by the
I'll face towards you guys this time.
At the what?
At the Iowa State Fair.
What's the big? What is this? Does that feel okay on the knee?
Way less pain than last week. That's a good place to be. Next, I'm going to be moving on to deadlifts. But before I do so, I just want a little tip of the day. For any of you that are watching and following along in the workout, one thing I do on log pressing, I said this in the last video, I keep it really tight against my chin and I push through the chin, almost like trying to knock my head off. In addition to that, something that people overlook on strict pressing is the importance of keeping the lower body very tight. You want a strong base. So I squeeze my quads and my glutes as tight as possible, and that helps lock in my abs and lower back to a point where they feel stable. And also, as I press, there's no wobble there. All that force can go directly into the log rather than be dispersed through my body finding stability. So let's try it out. I hate this part. Small gym. Obstacles in the way of walking just keep you on your toes, you know, keep that footwork quick. So last week I was working on double pauses. I paused below the knee on the concentric, that is on the way up, and then below the knee on the eccentric on the way down. And I'm doing this with no belt. And the whole idea here, as I said before, make light weights as hard as possible to teach yourself how to brace and control the bar path. I'm going to be working up to maybe 430 pounds, whatever 195 kilos is. By the way, last week I did 5 reps, 3 reps, and 3 reps. My pauses were a little sketchy on the first set, so today the goal is to just work with full repetitions, really nailing those pauses, and on the final set I'll be doing it with hook grip because I need to keep practicing that hook grip just in case I see the Dinny stones again. The first 2 sets, regular double overhand grip, which I like to use as an intensity limiter because I can't go any heavier than my grip can handle. So without further ado, let's get these warm-up sets out of the way and get to work.
Quick steps, quick steps.
Wow, breathe.
And bring it back. That was awesome.
Go under.
Same thing. Short, quick steps. Good footwork.
I started feeling it right there.
There we go.
Also, she hates it whenever I take her somewhere and I call her mom, and then trainers start calling her mom. Kyle, you have to call her Gia. You have to Pilates, and the instructor starts calling her mom. She's like, I'm not your mom. Wow, mom.
1. Don't forget to breathe. Incredible.
Now you're breathing hard. Your dad.
So, my quick checklist with anything when we're bending over and bending the hips starts with the feet. We want to make sure we have equal weight distribution through the big toe and heel. Most people make the mistake when they're picking up the kettlebells as well. They stand too far back. You're going to be standing directly over the top. And instead of thinking about reaching down to grab it, I just want to think about pushing my hips back. So I'm going to push my hips backwards like so. I should feel tension.
Warm-up is complete. Now on to the real weight. Now for these warm-ups, every single set, I try to do it with the same focus and bracing I'm going to use on my working sets. I like to do that to get as much practice and as possible to fire up my nervous system with the same patterns as I do with the heavier weights. Now time for the real work. It's not that heavy, but it will lead to glorious weights.
Quadruple the views of every other video.
All right, just about 430 pounds. Let's go for
Really?
4 pause reps. I think gotta be thorough. No cheating.
Oh, this year? Last time. Oh, whoa.
The first
The
one.
first one,
Ready?
oh, that's what we're doing.
A little heavier. 20 times. Now you keep it all in the hips. Nice. Nathan, your form's so good. Best deadlift I've ever seen, Nathan.
Oh, I know where you're going. Anchoring is the best one.
Good start. 2 more sets.
Alright?
You don't have to drop the sides.
Yeah. You guys can alternate. Just come back.
So we'll go 5 minutes.
You did great. Way to go.
All right.
So, see how far we
Stepping
are.
over the bar is bad luck. Don't do it. One more set. Those two were double overhand. Final set's gonna be hook grip. Last week I found out my hook grip is worse than my double overhand. It's not good. So I'm gonna try to get to 4 reps with hook grip and do a little hold on top. I surprised myself last week. I could only do 3 reps with a hold on top. It was barely any kind of hold. So let's do better than that.
That was 50 pounds. That's 110.
My daughter is amazing.
That's right.
No, don't worry, I'm gonna faint any second.
Shit, it hurts too much.
The last one, it gets stuck in my head. Look.
Take a little Take a little break, and then we'll repeat that for one more set of 3.
A little uglier than I wanted to be. I slipped on the way down on the 3rd rep. Got a little bit above what I did last week. That's good. Better pauses overall on all my sets. So that's it. A little bit by little bit every week. A little bit better. Next up, suitcase carry. I hate this shit. Oh God. Oh, that's embarrassing. So sweaty, I'm just slipping all over the place. Whew, I'm gonna take a little break. I just got a question from I think last week's video at Paris Ferguson 8654. He was saying that he would guarantee some kind of ringstone event in Aberdeen. Yeah, that's been what I'm saying. We're going to Scotland, guys. Wonder if they'll do Fingal Fingers event into the log press this year after abandoning it last year. Doubt they'll do the bull pull. That would be cool. Yeah, I would love to see. I mean, I think the bull pull would be great. I think the only reason injuries happened when I was watching Trey, and that was really unfortunate because he's just one of my favorite guys out there, guys. He's just such a good person. Charles Mitchell, aka Trey, aka Berserker Lifter, is I noticed that when it got hard, he was really just driving with one of his feet with all of his might, while the other leg was in the air. Now the thing is, when a truck pull or whatever, a bull pull gets hard like that, you need to put both feet on the ground and drive with both legs. Otherwise, yes, you will destroy your ankles or Achilles. Yeah, I don't think that has anything to do with weight. It just, an unfortunate little slip in technique caused an injury. I mean, Mateusz finished it. He's just good at it. It's just good technique, and that's what it comes down to. So I say welcome the bull pull. Let's bring it on. I'd love to do it. Suitcase carries. Last time I made the mistake of not wearing knee sleeves and thinking on the suitcase carry because it's awkward. It really slams against my knee. So that hurt for a week afterwards. Not gonna let that happen again. Plus these speedy knee sleeves really help my joints feel cozy and secure. So trying to use them a little bit more often. Using a slightly larger size than normal, just to not add too much support, but just enough that it helps my joints feel a little bit more locked in, keeps the joints warm, you know, helps the mental.
10 of these. You want to breathe out as you stand up. Inhale on the way down. Right stomach. There you go.
Yeah, last week I didn't care too much about speed. This week I'm still not going to measure my speed we're gonna try to make each one at least a run. Last week, I just did a smooth walk, kind of just to feel how my back was doing. And they ended up all right. So gonna go up to about 220 pounds again and just try to get some more speed and confidence into the movements. And if it continues feeling good, I'll start slowly adding weight. Rest time and let's go. 220 pounds. So this is
Get a real bed. Like, that's your lot, like.
Resilient.
Yeah.
Ready for your positions. Good.
if I've ever said at any point that these feel good, I'm lying. I hate this shit. Oh yeah, we got skiers happening over here.
Pace is really fast.
Nice brisk runs on each set. I like these. I hate these, but they're really useful for preparing kind of my obliques, that awkward sway that's involved in the Denny stones in case we have to do them. And it's a nice carryover to regular farmer's carries. So in case I go into a competition with regular farmer's carries, I'll be ready. If I go into a competition with Denny's, I'll be ready for that awkward swaying and bobbing of those weights that just takes so many people out, including me. I really messed up at the Arnold. That's one of those events that maybe I took for granted, but I believe a few years ago I would have been able to go the distance. This last show in the Arnold, that was humbling. So I really want to build up to at least get to a point where I know I belong with that event. As promised, I'm gonna be adding a little bit of volume every single week. At least before I increase intensity, I'm gonna be gunning for volume and better control of each motion with less and less pain. Volume I'm adding this week, in addition to the repetitions I added, it's gonna be a little bit of stone work. It's gonna be very light. My goal here is to just kind of test out how my bicep feels. I know that rowing it, my typical rowing motion does not feel good, but I am able to put a latch on and do a scapular retraction. Now I want to see what this is going to be like with a full motion. So I know that I could pick it off the ground with relatively very low pain. I got to see if I can lap it and then maybe shoulder it. Today is going to be a pure testing day to see where these are at. Let's go. So what I just discovered is extending my hips too much does oddly, to get that stone to roll up that little extra bit. Lately in my strength unknown videos I've seen in Pakistan, I'd cheat a little bit. I wouldn't extend my hips that much and I'd pull up with my arms with double the force I would normally do on a stone to shoulder. And I've been doing this because my back's been hurting, so I didn't want to extend my back too much. And I think that's also placed a lot of extra pressure over here. As even with this tiny stone, which weighs like 115 pounds, I can feel that if I try to extend my hips all the way through to get that beautiful stone roll with minimal arm engagement, it feels like it would hurt my back. So I stopped it early and tried to muscle up in my arms, and then this hurt. So I'm not gonna be shouldering it just yet. I'm just gonna stand up with it and just see what weight I can build up to. It's gonna be on the light end, but see if I could get up into a 200 something pound range without pain. Oh yeah, 160 badass pounds. Not really, it's really laughable, but let's see what I could get up to.
You said it's laughable?
For me, heavyweight. I don't need a rest period with these weights. Who am I kidding? Yeah, this reeling hurts the arm right here. That motion hurts. So right now, basically, I'm just reeling it with one arm to get it extended. Gotta do what I can do, you know. Let's go up and wait, see how that feels.
We'll start filming.
Oh yeah, I'm filming.
Okay.
By the way, folks, she lifted it like 10 times, 160 pounds. She didn't fail at all, no tacky. So I'm up to 220 pounds. Let's see how this goes. I'm gonna face you guys just for a second here, just to teach you guys some cool tricks about stone lifting. Number one, I like to step up to the stone so that the ball of my foot lines up with the center, all right? Next, widespread fingers. I like to have the stone center cut my hand right between these 3 fingers and these 2 fingers. So it cuts the hand right there. Basically, I'm trying to imagine that stone center, that circumference sliding across my hand here, and I dig it in as deep as I can. I try to have the stone crushing my pointer and middle fingers between the floor and the stone. And from that point of where my fingers are getting crushed, I like to create a straight line to elbow to shoulder. It's okay if the elbow bends around the circumference, but I ultimately want these joints on one plane. So when I pull, it goes directly in the direction of where my shoulders are positioned. If your shoulders are slightly behind, or your hands are slightly in front or slightly behind, the stone will roll. Yeah, that hurts. That sucks. Let's see if I can dig in deeper. Oh, injuries suck, you guys. Huh. It's really lame, isn't it? Maybe this event for a while has to be extremely light. This is why I have testing days. So let's see how stone and steel does. I think it's around 140, 160. Let's just see what this feels like. It seems that with the smaller stones, because their diameter is so small, I can have my arms straighter, which takes a lot of pressure off this joint. This one is even bigger diameter than 225. Feels more doable, but the pain is similar. No pain like that. So if I was going into a competition like this, I'd have to do what kind of Mateusz did, was World Ultimate Strongman. When he tore his bicep, he went through a heavy stone series and did fairly well with it when he didn't have to, and he still won the show. And what he did was he just tackied up his arms, taped up his torn bicep arm so much that it was just locked straight. So he would bend the left arm, torn arm, keep really straight, super tacky, just glue it to the side and pull. It's amazing what you could do. Little tricks around injuries. Maybe something that I've never done before for injury, which is typically when I'm hurt, I use chalk on stones to make lightweights harder. But maybe for this specific injury, the best thing I could do is go extremely light just to keep blood flowing to that tendon, or go a little bit heavier with tacky with much straighter arms and not digging at my fingers as deep as I can. So the thing with this long head bicep is, in the past it only affected me on pressing motions. Now it's been affecting me on pulling motions. But I just tried this after turning the camera off, and I was able to get it. And I think what I did was actually shrug instead of retract my shoulders. Let's try that again. Yeah, strange. Wow, okay. that is interesting. Shrugging kind of takes this guy out of the equation, including on the roll up. Hey, that's really awesome. Okay, another little detail. I typically like to sit really low for my stones and pick them. So the shrug, in addition with keeping my hips high. It's that combination that helps take away a little bit of pain. So I'm gonna go hips high, shrug, no pain. Okay. Shrug again. Oh, that's freaking awesome. Oh yeah, okay. So now I have a base to build off of. I'm not gonna aggravate or play around with it too much. I'm just gonna take a note on the technique I used and then kind of set a goal from there. See how I feel tomorrow. Hopefully I haven't aggravated this at all. And then next week I can start really increasing the repetitions. Not add weight to that stone of steel. I wanna use it because it's got a good diameter, similar diameter to the competition stones. And I gotta keep rehearsing the positioning that I'd be using in the competition. Make that as painless as possible for high repetitions, and then add weight slowly. But I'm really excited, that's good. I was able to find a position that feels all right. I could work around this injury. Now we'll see if that holds up as the repetitions increase and as the intensity increases. Anyway, that's it from me today. Tomorrow's gonna be accessories and jiu-jitsu. I'm gonna be getting ready for a jiu-jitsu show in the middle of October. Really excited about that. We'll see how all my training works out for that, because that's an entirely different beast of a sport for me. But I've been loving to do it. So hopefully I get a good result and prove to you guys that I belong in that sport as well as strongman. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Martin's out.